Got it out the struggle, all I know is the hustle, my life.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing fine. For those of you guys who are new here, hi, I'm Azaria and this is my channel, Artistically Beautiful. And for those of you guys who are returning, hi, welcome back. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be going over the last of the 4 agreements, and this is always do your best. This is something that we hear often and something that we may believe to be cliche, but I think that it is very, very, very important. And I think that it is important because it is literally just a reminder that our best is good enough, that our best changes. So before I get into this topic, I want to go ahead and read an excerpt. Okay. There is just one more agreement, but it's the one that allows the other 3 to become deeply ingrained habits. The 4th agreement is about the action of the first 3. Always do your best. Under any circumstance, always do your best, no more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time, so your best will sometimes be high quality and other times it will not be as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick or sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you are feeling wonderful and happy or upset, angry, or jealous. That is a lot. I feel like this passage is something that we forget. I feel like the fact that our best changes is something that we forget because we have these expectations and we have these standards of ourselves. And when we don't meet those standards, we end up judging ourselves. But we have to remember that our best changes. Our best definitely changes based on our mindset, based on where we are in life, based on what we're doing. How do you wake up feeling? Do you feel like you have more anxiety or you're in a bad mood? So you don't get to accomplish things. Everything really can dictate where we are. And the thing about always doing your best is we are literally the only ones who really comprehend what our best is in that moment. We are the ones who need to be so in tune with our body that we know when we need to get more rest this day instead of putting in 110% working. Because I personally believe that rest is just as important as work. Because rest allows you to be proficient in whatever it is that you are going to be doing. So if you don't get enough rest, you're going to be zombie-like. You're most likely not going to be as creative or as proficient because you're not getting the adequate amount of rest. If you're running off of 2 hours of sleep and an energy drink, you're probably going to be tired. So we have to learn when it is time to give ourselves rest so we can do our best later. Because sometimes taking a break now means being very, very proficient later. But working now, as we are growing tired, means this work is probably not going to be our highest quality. And when we're running off of that lack of sleep, that work isn't going to be proficient either. So I feel like this chapter is really, really good. I feel like this chapter is very, very necessary. And the fact that he starts off by saying that our best changes is a huge reminder for everyone because we are never going to be the same. Like, we see it all the time. Like, our bodies change and there's things that we could do as a child that we can no longer do. So our physical best has changed. So now it takes more work for us to get back to where we were, energy wise or flexibility wise or movement wise. Or maybe We were happier as a child, but we didn't have all of these obstacles. We didn't have to pay bills, or we didn't have to worry about what we were going to eat. We had other people taking care of us. So we have to really take into account life changes, and that really determines what our best can be. Well, let's not say determine, but it is a factor in what our best can be. And another thing I want to say is everyone's best looks different. Everyone's best looks different because we can't set our best standard according to someone else's best standard, because we haven't lived the same lives, we aren't living the same lives, we haven't had the same experiences, so we can't really compare our best to someone else's best. And that is something that I realized I used to do a lot, and I see that other people do a lot. Well, she's younger than me, but she's getting so much more done. Well, I'm sorry, but maybe something in her life contributed to that and something in yours didn't. We all have different minds. So while she was worried about this at a young age, maybe you were worried about playing more, or having time with friends, and both are okay, but they are both contributors to what our best looks like. I want us to definitely all stop comparing ourselves to other people. We compare beauty, we compare looks, we compare intelligence, we compare success, when really other people's success has nothing to do with us, because we live these individual lives with different factors. Maybe we went through something that put a pause on all life for a period of time, and they didn't go through that. So we don't know. That's the thing, we don't know. So we can't compare. There's this saying in church: don't compare yourself to someone else because you don't know what they had to go through to get where they are now. That is the realest statement ever, because some of these people have went through really, really traumatic events, and to be completely honest, I already met my quota for trauma. So whatever it is that they went through to get to where they are now, I'm good on it. I think I'm just going to use what it is I have already. I think my cup overfloweth in that department. So I'm probably not going to go ahead and worry about what they got going over there, because I don't want to go through whatever it is that they went through. So we have to really stop comparing our best to other people's best. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that we have to make sure that we are actually doing our best. So of course we have the overachievers, the people who are constantly, grinding it out, really trying to do their best. Some people who try to go above their best, which can be very detrimental if you allow that to take over. But there are also a lot of us, actually statistically speaking, majority of us, who are doing below our best, meaning we are doing just enough to get by. But one thing that we all have in common is while we're doing just enough to get by, we're constantly nagging ourselves and just sitting in this stagnant energy, complaining. It is pointless to complain if you're not going to put in the work to get where it is that you want. So that's why I told myself, to be honest, you either going to lose weight or stop calling yourself fat. But I can't deal with where we are right now. So I decided I was going to lose weight on my terms. And now I have confidence, so it is what it is, honestly. But that's beside the point. If you want to actually achieve goals in life, you have to actually be doing your best. Meaning, if doing your best is getting up early, making your bed, and planning out your day and working those steps to get closer to where it is, then you have nothing to complain about. If doing your best is really grinding it out, really learning all of the information you need to in order to run your business, and you do that, you have nothing to complain about. Even if doing your best is just waking up, you have nothing to complain about, because you did your best. You did your best. And whatever level our best is now, I want us all to know that it grows. It may change and then fluctuate on a day-to-day basis, but just like the stock market, it is always going to be in an upward trend if we are doing our best as often as possible, if we are doing our best in every moment, if we do something every single day to move us closer to our goal, we can't help but to ascend. But if we're not, if we do our best sometimes and then the other times we do below our best, or we try to rush the process and do over our best, which really only slows down the process, then we're really going to be staying in the same spot, to be completely honest, because you can't really go anywhere if you're not really putting in your fullest potential. So doing your best is very, very, very important. So I'm going to read another excerpt. And this, I love it. It's this little parable, or this little story, and I really, really, really love it. So let me read it to you guys. There was a man who wanted to transcend his suffering, so he went to a Buddhist temple to find a master to help him. He went to the master and asked, "Master, if I meditate 4 hours a day, how long would it take to transcend?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 4 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 10 years. Thinking he could do better, the man then said, "Oh, master, what if I meditate 8 hours a day? How long will it take me to transcend?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 8 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 20 years. "But why will it take me longer if I meditate more?" the man asked. The master replied, "You are not here to sacrifice your joy or your life. You are here to live, to be happy, and to love. If you can do your best in 2 hours of meditation, but you spend 8 hours instead, you will only grow tired, miss the point, and you won't enjoy your life. Do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, you can live, love, and be happy." So, as I said earlier, sometimes doing more than your best, really stressing yourself out, really pushing yourself past your limit, like not getting sleep, sacrificing detrimentally your peace and your health in order to reach a goal, then I feel like, truthfully and honestly, you're not going to get where it is that you want to go. And you may be getting results in the moment, but you're not going to be growing in all of the areas of your life. You're just going to be growing in that one area. And you're going to miss out on your mental health, which is probably going to need work after you've done all of this. You're going to miss out on your spiritual growth. You're going to miss out on making real connections with people, because when it comes to reaching these goals, like building a business and doing all of that, the reason that a lot of people are trying to do it in a more efficient way is because we are starting to realize that actual joy, actual happiness is worth just as much as making a lot of money. Because truthfully, they work together for us to live the life that we desire. So if I'm constantly just sitting here grinding all of the time and not having fun and not actually resting, or not getting to journal, or not getting to spend time outside, or not getting to go to parties, not getting to have dinner with friends and family, then I am missing the point of life. Because the point of life isn't to just be on grind mode. The point of life is to grow and expand, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. Meaning, not only do we need to have the discipline that we need in order to grow physically in this world, maybe financially, maybe putting something together that will serve me and serve other people. So that is important, but we also need to learn how to grow spiritually, meaning settling down, getting peace, breathing, eating a nice meal, or whatever peace looks like for you. But honestly, peace to me looks like a nice cup of tea. I love tea so much. And also, we have to grow in love, meaning we have to make connections with people. And I'm not talking about business connections, or I'm talking about real deep connections. We have to have people that we love. We need to connect with our family. We need to connect with our friends, because we need that in order to expand and be open to receiving and giving out love. And I feel like love is the biggest spiritual healer. So if we are just in grind mode and we are completely missing out on all other aspects of life, we're not living. And so we're going to end up with all of the money, and we're going to end up with the lifestyle, but we're not going to have the love. We're not going to have the peace, because we weren't working on that all that time. We were working on getting where we need to be now. We were just working on getting to the bag. And getting to the bag, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But we also have to get to these connections, get to this peace, get to this healing, get to this life. When I say do our best, I mean do our best to heal, do our best to reach our goals, do our best to, whatever it is that we aspire to in life, do our best to love, do our best to alleviate any toxic traits. We need to be doing our best in more areas than just, grinding and trying to go above our limits and stuff like that. And I also want to put in that we're not going to be our best in every area all of the time. It's impossible. We're not here to be perfect, but we are here to be learning. And I believe that mistakes are the best teachers. Speaking from experience, because I've made a lot of mistakes. We can use the mistakes that we make to go forward and do better. Go outdo me. That's a quote I saw, and that's a quote that I believe in. So the goal is to outdo me, which means the best person to look at is you. What did you do back then, and how can you learn from that? What did you do back then, and how can you be better than that? I think that is all that I have for today's video. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the entire series. Final day of the 4 agreements. I hope you guys really enjoyed the series. I really did. I'm actually going to go ahead and reread this again so I can get a refresher. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Okay, guys, I love you. Have a wonderful day. Stay beautiful.
Oh my.